Good evening and welcome friends. This Sunday 9 p.m. The fact that you're watching Prime Time News Sunday shows how seriously you take what's happening around you and the country, and so we make an attempt to bring the best to you about what's happened through the day and what's likely to happen in the coming week. There was an order by the government to its various departments that officers above the rank of Joint Secretary be enlisted for a government program and outreach, a communication outreach which the Modi government is planning beginning November 5, going on till the month of January, where these officers, ministers, anyone associated with the government and their schemes are going to pan out across the country. All of 745 districts of the country or 765 districts of the country and 2.76 lakh village panchayats, and to see for themselves whether all the schemes that the government has implemented have they reached their intended beneficiaries. The objective is to make sure that there is saturation coverage of schemes so that poor, backward people in whichever pockets of the country they are, they get the benefits of the taxpayer money. But then the opposition has not liked the idea because they think that this seems like harnessing of public servants for a political objective. They are particularly peeved that the word Rath Yatra has been used in the scheme with Mallikarjun Kharge, Congress President, writing to Prime Minister. The BJP, of course, has hit back, and that's something which has started a debate, and that's going to be our focus this Sunday evening. Let's look at what the debate is essentially about. The debate is development versus obstruction, or development versus propaganda face-off between the Congress and the BJP. But let's begin with the headlines first. On Mahua payoff scam, TMC says will wait for the parliamentary panel probe as BJP asks, what is Trinamool hype? Big face-off between the BJP and the Congress. Nadda hits back after Kharge writes to PM alleging misuse of public servants.
बातचीत करी, हमारा पूरा प्रयास था. हमारे लोग ही राजी नहीं हो रहे थे क्योंकि प्रश्न ये नहीं था कि कितनी सीटें, प्रश्न था कि कौन सी सीटें. उनके वो लोग तो नंबर नहीं था, जो सीटें वो चाहते थे उस पर हम अपने लोगों को कन्विंस नहीं कर पाए.
After multiple warnings from Akhilesh, Kamalnath's response says trying to convince cadre for seats.
In our case, we invoked parity because we had concerns about continuous interference in our affairs by Canadian personnel.
Jai Shankar gives it back to Trudeau, raises interference by Canadian diplomats, says more details will emerge soon. IDF airstrikes killed deputy head of Hamas artillery wing in Gaza Strip. The guy played key role in the October 7th attack. India puts humanity first, sends aid to Palestine as Israel-Hamas war continues to rage on. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. In the election year, there is a fresh face-off, not the first, not the last, that has broken out between the government and the opposition. As government plans to launch a mega drive to ensure that the government schemes reach the deserving beneficiaries, Congress has attacked the centre, alleging misuse of IAS officers for government propaganda. Here's the complete story before we begin the debate.
In the run-up to 2024 elections, it's a fresh face-off between BJP and Congress. Congress has accused the government of misusing bureaucrats for political propaganda. Congress President Kharge has written to Prime Minister raising the same.
इन्होंने स्पेशल मिलिट्री से लेकर आईटी से लेकर रेवेन्यू डिपार्टमेंट ने सबको इस्तेमाल कर रहे हैं। तो ये जो एक डेमोक्रेसी को कमज़ोर करने की एक हुनर इन्होंने निकाला है, ये अच्छा नहीं, इसका कंडम हम करते हैं। और इसीलिए मैंने लिख के भेजा है कि लोकतांत्रिक सिस्टम में हम ऑफिसरों को इस्तेमाल नहीं करना चाहिए।
The controversies about the government plan of Rath Yatras across all the districts post-Diwali to ensure the full saturation of government's welfare schemes. The government will launch a mega drive, Viksit Bharat Sankalp Yatra, to reach out to the beneficiaries and enroll them. Specially fitted chariots will reach the beneficiaries across the country, and officers will be appointed as Rath Prabharis to raise awareness and ensure the saturation of the welfare schemes. BJP has hit back asking Congress to introspect and reminded them of the time when warships were used as personal yachts. BJP President JP Nadda said that it may be an alien concept to the Congress, but public service delivery is the duty of a government. While the government argues for good governance, the Congress continues to question. Is it another example of opposition obstructionism? Let's debate.
Okay, let's debate. Joining me to represent the BJP spokesperson Shazia Ilmi, she's joining us live from Delhi. We have Binay Singh, political analyst, leans towards the right and to the BJP. He's also live from Delhi. Sumitra Goenka, policy and political analyst. She also joins us from Delhi, and she also leans towards the right and to the BJP. In a bit, we would be joined in by Adil Hassan, spokesperson of the AIMIM, and Mayank Sinha, political advisor, JDU. He's also going to be live from Delhi. But we already have Sumant C. Raman, political analyst, and he joins us live from Chennai, leans towards the Congress party, takes a centrist view of things. And then, of course, we have Shyam Prasad Meka giving us the Congress view. So I would want to begin with you, Mr. Meka. After a long time, you're there on the panel. Can you delineate what are the exact objections that the Congress party really has if the government says that all hands on the deck, all government officers should go out, do the field work and see for themselves if whatever schemes they make in Delhi, they are reaching the last mile, they are reaching the last village, the last man standing? Mr. Meka, are you getting me? Mr. Meka, I think you're not getting the audio perhaps, because your video is clear, but you seem not to be getting my audio. In which case, should I take this to Sumant Raman? Mr. Meka, are you getting me?
Audio is very feeble.
Nope, there seems to be some audio issue. I'll ask the PCR to fix that. And in the meantime, I'll go to Mr. Sumant Raman. Sumant Raman, you please delineate the objections that you would have seen in this order which has been brought out by the Congress party. Essentially a Ministry of Finance, Department of Revenue, CBDT letter written to the Principal Chief Commissioner of Income Tax, New Delhi, which says that please nominate officers of Joint Secretary rank and above for the Viksit Bharat Sankalp Yatra. And this is essentially because those officers would be traveling to districts and be in charge as special officers to make sure that the schemes that are being implemented by the government, they reach their true beneficiaries. An audit is done, and wherever gaps are there, those gaps are filled. So why should there be an objection to that?
Who's that question for? Is it for me, Abhishek?
Yeah, this is for you, Mr. Raman, because I'm not able to get Mr. Meka. This is for you.
Yeah. Okay. There are 2-3 issues here. One, it is being done less than 6 months to go or thereabouts for the general election. Point number one. Second, for routine assessment of implementations of schemes, which is basically part of the government's work. So there is no need to have yatras, and you don't need to have specially fitted ruts and so on for this purpose. So clearly this is something where government servants are being asked to do the work or the bidding of the political party in power, which is the problem. So whether it is look, how can there be a problem with a bureaucrat studying the or assessing or reviewing the implementation of government schemes? There can be no problem. But this is not just that. If it was just that, I don't think we'd be sitting here and having this debate or discussion. This is about creating these so-called prabaris who will, have specially fitted ruts which will go from district to district and highlight. I mean, all that 6 months before an election is highly irregular. I mean, it's not, proper.
No.
The
problem is with the Rath or the election. I mean, you need a vehicle to go somewhere, right? In the ancient times, it was called Rath. Now it's called a Jeep. Are you okay if it's called a Jeep or a car?
No, they have got. Look, Abhishek, are you telling me that government officials have never reviewed implementation of projects before? Tell me, what is new here? So why do you need a special Sankalp Yatra?
Saturation coverage, I think. I'll let the BJP respond to that. Shazia Ilmi, the objection is that you are doing this too close to the election, which makes opposition read problem with intent. And then, as Sumant Raman says, that the government officers, this is not the first time that the government officers are supposed to, or it's part of their duty, in fact, to be monitoring the situation. It need not be in the kind of mode that the government wants them to do. The terminology perhaps is not right. You don't need to have Rath Yatras. The government officers can do it without that also.
So, first things first, who are the central welfare schemes for? They are for people of India. How the MPs been elected to the parliament, or how is the parliament elected? Every parliamentarian represents the will of the people reflected in the candidature and their representation in the parliament. Thirdly, and most importantly, public servants, bureaucrats, right from the level of DM down to Tehsildar and Patwari, what is his or her job? Serving the people of India. So if there are welfare schemes which need to be talked about, and there has to be a sankalp as in a vision of a country to be from a developing country to a developed nation, don't you think everybody should participate in it? What is the job of public servants but to serve and implement the schemes, whether it's the states or center, whichever government it is? So I don't understand the objection, a specific objection is where this is concerned. As for elections, it is our party, our Prime Minister, who has been talking about one nation, one poll. They have a problem with that. Then there is an election around the corner every 3 months. So what do you mean to say? You mean to say that we should not have a nationwide mission and a vision for implementation of schemes for us to go ahead? And yes, lots has been done before. Nobody is taking that away. But the kind of development we've seen in terms of airports, highways, roads, whether it's a central welfare schemes on Ajivika Nivas, or I can go on. I have a whole list of things that I can. It's unprecedented. We have not seen progress of this kind and development of this kind. And I think it's important to find the country, get them together on the same page, executive, legislature, together along with the people of this country to say that we have here, we need to go there. This is a vision and this is a mission. And I
can see. Okay, it's a mission. More than a mission, I think it's mission mode governance for which Prime Minister Narendra Modi was actually famous for in his chief minister days, which he has continued as Prime Minister. But I saw Adil Hassan raising his finger. Adil Hassan, do you have an objection to the last man is standing or last woman is standing, getting all the schemes that are available to them, cross-check whether they are getting them, and if not getting them, then in a mission mode, get those services to them. Essentially, this is about governance delivery. You should not have any problem with that. Or what is your problem if you have?
Abhishek bhai, problem is that in every state, opposition state is complaining that GST money, they are not getting GST money. In Telangana, Kazipet Rail Factory, Turmeric Port, Tribal University, Pharmaceutical University, Pharmaceutical Hub, all are pending in this government. In Bihar, only 4% of Transport Ministry has invested in Bihar. Bihar is asking for Simanchal special status. Bihar is special status, that is pending. Telangana is asking money, that is pending. West Bengal is asking money, that is pending. Before the Honorable Prime Minister in under index, every day we are getting far from that the main mark per month. You are in unemployment, the scheme is same. In everything, the government has failed. It's just not about 6 months, it's just 3 months. November, December, January, from February, the model code of conduct will come. भारत सरकार बतलाए कि क्या चीफ सेक्रेटरी पर प्रिंसिपल सेक्रेटरी पर
what's the point like?
उनको अपना यकीन नहीं है. They don't have faith on their chief secretaries, principal secretaries, joint secretaries. Why they are doing drama? Why not Mr. Modi come out from the mega event drama?
No, what's the point like? You know,
he is the prime minister of the country. He is not running the country in event management mode. Yes.
Adil Hassan, you know, even Sumant Raman raised this issue of elections. You are also saying that just before model code of conduct, this is being done. My question is, Binay Singh,
this is drama.
Why should there be a problem with that timing? You see, the government before... No. Yeah, it's taxpayer money and the government wants a clean, transparent audit of it. What's wrong with that? Binay Singh, the question is, the opposition seems to be uncomfortable with the idea that a true picture...
What about the Adani scam? What about the coal scam? The president, prime minister is ready for this.
We'll open. Adil Hassan. No, hold on.
You don't have to guts and
Hold on. Shashaji, let's structure it. Hold on. Let's structure it. We have a lot of time. We have a lot of time today. Hold on. I'll come to you. Hold on. Adil Hassan, let's have a structured conversation. You want to discuss Adani issue, we'll discuss that also. But you see, as of now, Binay Singh, your opening comments, I think the opposition is a little jittery perhaps about the timing. But then, why should that be an obstruction for the government to do a clean, transparent audit of whether whatever they have done over the last few years has actually reached the intended beneficiaries or not? In fact, based on that, if the government can tell the people and go to the people and say that this is what we have delivered and that's what on which we are seeking the mandate for, I think why should opposition object to it? Opposition can go to the people with their own record of whatever they have done over the last 10 years. The government has all the right to go to the people and tell them this is what we have done.
In fact, this is how elections should be conducted on the basis of progress and accountability.
I think I need to speak. Abhishek.
Yeah, Binay Singh.
Yeah. Abhishek, when a joint secretary rank officer, he will be visiting my home. So, as an electorate, what I will feel? I will feel that it's a wonderful idea that the Janta Ka Sevak must visit the door of their masters. That is the general public, and convince them that what they have done for their Janta in the last few years. And what will this lead to? It will lead to increase in transparency and accountability in public services and government officials. As an electorate, this is my view. And this is a process, Abhishek, of decentralization of power, and this will indeed strengthen the democratic setup. And Abhishek, this yatra will give a chance to
why do you need a
public
for that?
And most importantly, to the people at the bottom of the
Why
pyramid.
do you need a Rath for that? Answer that, Binay.
Why do you need a Rath for that?
Why do you need a Rath for that?
Ask him to answer. Why do you need a Rath to assess government schemes?
Yes. They cannot land their helicopter on your... they cannot go by train to your house. They cannot
Let
go by
them go by government car. Official vehicle is there. Official government vehicle is there. They are all given. They are all given.
You have problem with the Rath.
Government vehicle is available. Why you need specially designed Rath?
You don't
go in government vehicle. Go in government car. Go in government car.
Sir, you tell that you don't have problem with the idea. This idea is
election purpose.
You have problem with the Rath.
No, sir. I have problem with two things.
Yes, they have problem with the Rath. And give a proper answer. Why can't it be called the official vehicle? Why can't it be called the officer's car?
So badly. So I just want to come in and say something historic is happening.
Abhishek.
There is talk about public accountability. accountability not just of the legislators, but also of
That's
the
fine. That's fine,
bureaucrats.
Shazia Ilmi.
What will
But the
happen?
opposition
What
is
will
saying
happen
that
in
the
this
terminology
year?
that you are using,
No.
calling them
Anything
Rath
to do with
Prabharis,
accountability.
calling it
Okay,
Yatra,
okay, Abhishek,
you know,
one
it shows
second.
sort of connection
Abhishek,
with the
one question,
BJP and
Abhishek.
hence the ruling party. Shazia,
One
you have to
question,
respond to
Abhishek.
that.
Abhishek,
So I just
one
need to
question.
take some time.
I have asked the question, let her
Can I
respond.
just give 20
I have
seconds
asked the
from-
question, let her respond.
I
I
don't
have
like
asked the
this.
question that you
No, I
also
just
want
very-
answered, Sumant Raman. Let her respond.
Can I just say something? This is a very untidy way of going back and
Yeah,
forth.
please go ahead.
No, I raised some questions. I could not find an answer. I raised the question of accountability earlier and about us being on the same page when it comes to vision and mission. The model of
Can I
governance,
answer?
the delivery mechanism. No, do not answer. Be quiet. Let me finish. And you answer what I'm asking you. So I don't know what it's called. Rath Prabhari. It's a name that is given. People will go through different means. Some people will take an official car. Some people will walk. Whether it's a patwari or tehsildar or the district magistrate, there'll be different ways. Do you get the idea? A bureaucracy for the first time is being held accountable. And I think this accountability is a big issue and a very important part of governance.
Oh,
I'm not-
wonderful.
10 seconds. No. Let me finish. I'm not done.
Abhishek,
Now, what is the
Abhishek.
problem with? What is the problem?
Let her
with-
finish. Let her finish. Let her
What
finish.
is the matter with you all? What is wrong with you? You have nothing to say. You look
Abhishek.
like, I'm sorry to say.
Oh, go ahead,
you
go ahead,
have
go ahead.
egg on your face because you can't make a point.
Abhishek.
You say,
Abhishek.
that is you get the idea.
Abhishek.
The problem is other parties.
Abhishek.
don't have
Raman,
idea what
let her
governance
speak,
is.
Sumant Raman. I'll come to you. You got your opening comments. I'll come to you.
I don't know. I mean,
You've asked the question. She is responding to you only.
Yeah,
Abhishek.
She is responding to you.
this is so amusing.
Why
Please go ahead.
This is
smooth manner, rowdy
Abhishek.
manner. Because I'm calling out
Abhishek.
your bluff.
So what's amusing? What's amusing?
Abhishek,
What's
Going
amusing?
on,
Abhishek, I
look at
feel
you,
sorry
look at you,
for
Abhishek.
her.
Okay, let's structure it.
You can't
For God's
hear.
sake. Sumant Raman, don't obstruct. Sumant
Can I-
Raman, you can be better. Don't obstruct.
Behave yourself. Because
Sumant
it's
Raman,
important
don't
that you
obstruct.
Why are we interrupting
Raman,
like
don't
that, Mr. Raman?
Behave yourself a little bit. I think it's very decent.
Yeah. Let her complete. I'll come back to you. You get your chance.
Listen, idea of governance and administration. We hold legislators accountable. It's important to reboot the bureaucracy also. It's a leviathan. Do you realize how important it is to make that accountable? If a country has to go from here to there, and yes, the matter of the problem has been bureaucracy in many parts of India, different levels, different states. And if 2.7 lakh panchayats are being hauled up and geared into talking about what is good for the people, whether the actual beneficiaries
Shazia.
are beneficiaries.
Can I reply now?
I don't understand what the problem you have.
Yeah.
You don't have a point to
Okay,
make.
Shazia, got a point.
You don't have a point to make.
Shazia, stop.
It's so idiotic. that
Can
you
I
don't have a point.
reply now?
Shazia, let me structure it.
Abhishek,
I'm done now.
I'll throw a
Abhishek, can
question
I
at him.
reply?
Yeah, I'll throw a question at him. I would
lady
still
has
want that
been
Shyam
for the
Prasad
last-
Meka is connected because that's closest we go to the Congress party. Sumant Raman, but
Yeah.
you see, is it political work for which the government is drafting these officers? No. Is it party program? No. I think they're going to do an appraisal of whether the Prime Minister's Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, people have got those homes or not. If there is Mudra Yojana, whether those women have got those loans or not. If there is Har Ghar Jal Yojana, whether the people have got those taps at their home or not. This is essentially about these senior officers going down to the district, village, block level and supervising the exact rollout of these schemes. And you see, this is about governance, yes. This is about political work, no. This is about good governance, yes. This is about party program, no. Then the objection, it seems, is only about the terminology. Admit that, then we take it forward.
Okay. Now, Abhishek, first of all, I want to congratulate Shazia Ilmi for a spectacular self-goal. After 10 years in power, she says for the first time, bureaucrats are going to be held accountable. After 10 years, it has taken them 9 years and 6 months to figure out that bureaucrats have to be held accountable. Please play that tape back. She said for the first time, bureaucrats are going to be held accountable. Abhishek, play the tape back. I am quoting her. For the first time,
Okay,
bureaucrats
it's
are
getting
going to be
interesting.
held accountable is what she says.
It's getting interesting.
That itself is a spectacular.
It's getting interesting. Let
admission.
Shazia respond. And I have to give it to her to respond before I broaden the debate. And I'm told Shyam Prasad Meka is connected. I'll go to him.
Yes.
Shazia, quickly. Shazia, quickly.
Abhishek, 1 minute.
Abhishek, for the first time, the rollout of central welfare.
How is this going to ensure accountability? How is it going to ensure accountability?
It's good, but let her respond to your charge. Let her respond to your charge.
I mean, the lady is rattled. She's completely rattled.
I had to use it.
No, she's not.
She's completely rattled. And she's scoring a goal after goal against her own team.
Oh, again. Okay, can I come in? So, Suman ji,
Madam, you are scoring a self-goal.
How daft you are when it comes to matter of governance, because obviously it's an aspect of governance and being in power that other parties do not know about. So
please answer my question. Did you say
Meka
for the first time?
No, Sumant Raman, Shyam Prasad Meka is on your side, so let's listen to him. Let's listen to him. Okay, Shazia, pull back.
Admit what she said.
No. Shazia, pull back. Let's take it forward. Sumant Raman, pull back. Shazia, pull back. Okay, now I'm talking to Shyam Prasad Meka. See, I have to still get.
How are they going to be punished continuously?
No, Shazia, pull back. I have to still get opening comments from Shyam Prasad Meka and Sumitra.
Please understand.
Suman, please, for God's sake, pull back. You are obstructing filibustering the debate. Please, for God's sake, pull back. Shazia.
I really feel sorry for her.
Very good.
No, I have to. No, it's okay.
What blabbering you've done?
Now, I have to get Shyam Prasad Meka and Sumitra also with their opening comments. Let's structure it. Shazia will get an opportunity again. Shazia will get an opportunity again.
For 90%
I have so much ground to cover. Please, Shazia, please. There is a lot of ground to cover. Important aspects to be covered. This is a serious debate. Sumant Raman, you have to stop now. Okay, Shyam Prasad Meka.
She's embarrassing the BJP.
No, Shyam Prasad
She's
Meka.
embarrassing the BJP.
Keep
Shyam Prasad Meka. Shyam Prasad Meka. Don't filibuster. Between the two of you, please, for God's sake, don't filibuster the debate. Okay, Shyam Prasad Meka.
I was answering the question.
Mallikarjun Kharge, the Congress president.
It didn't work.
When
the person who's filibustering knows what a fool is making of himself, and the world can see that.
You got to feel sorry for her.
That's why I'm taking it forward. I am not allowing.
I am not allowing that.
I am not allowing that. No, I am not allowing that. I am not allowing that. I am not allowing that.
I hope the BJP people who are seeing this realize that she is embarrassing her own party.
I don't know what to say.
Now I will have to ask the faders to be pulled down if this does not stop. Shazia, please, there are important. Listen, Shazia.
She's rattled.
On both the sides, there is important ground to cover. Both the sides, Congress and the BJP. Now listen, Mallikarjun Kharge, Shyam Prasad Meka, in his letter to the Prime Minister says that it seems that the Modi government is bent upon turning officers into pracharaks. This is gross misuse of government machinery in service of the ruling political party, and its violation of the Central Civil Services Conduct Rules, which direct that no government servant shall take part in any political activity. Now, please tell me how, for God's sake, doing an appraisal of whether houses under the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana have been built or not becomes political activity. How is it that if the officers go out and see whether the intended beneficiaries of Ayushman Bharat are actually getting those benefits or not becomes political activity?
See, Abhishek, reviewing any of the government schemes is not a problem. But is it not the routine course of action of the government officials? When a scheme is launched, are they not going to review? Why is this specific thing now? And what is this pracharak thing, or whatever these names are being called? What is this government trying to do? And when we question that, You try to paint either
I'll tell
me
you.
or Suman or Congress party as some sort of a anti-Hindu, blah, 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 blah. That game is over, my friend. That game is over. People are fed up with it. People are reading this through. This is over. Just come back to normal, do the developmental politics, do the normal politics. This politics is over. And unfortunately, the Prime Minister
I'll tell you why this politics is different.
To accept
it's not over, but it's different, and maybe the Congress party does not know how to respond to it. I'll give you an example. Shyam Prasad Meka, just an example, then you take it forward. Because
Abhishek, can I come in?
Because you said, and Sumant Raman also said, I'll come to you, Sumitra ji. I'll come to you. I know I've not been able to give you the opening comments, but I'll come to you. Just taking it forward. You see, this is the quote from Kerala Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan, who's not from the BJP. He says, government employees should strive hard to bring about a change in their work culture and remember that people approach them for their rights. And hence, they should go out and ensure a speedy, efficient delivery of government services. Number one,
right.
That's in Kerala.
What is wrong in it?
Right?
Yeah.
Travel to Bengal. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Nothing wrong in it. I'm saying travel to Bengal. There is this most famous scheme of the Bengal government called Dware Sarkar, which is the government at doorstep. And an integral component of that scheme is that government officers at whatever level, maybe not the joint secretary level, but junior level, the village patwari maybe, but they have to be available in villages and camps, or they have to go to door to provide those services. Essentially, this is a model of saturation governance, which even opposition ruled states are already practicing. This is about the center doing the same thing for central government schemes. Why should you object?
No, see, the first point is the execution of some of the most of the schemes is in the hands of the state governments. Now, don't tell me that saying central government is some sort of a Bahubali who will do everything in the entire country, saying no state government is good enough. Please come out of these illusions. Very simple thing. We have an administrative system where central launches
that's a reasonable counter. I have to take this to Sumitra. She has been waiting for a while. Sumitra, objections are at two levels. Objections are at two levels. One, that the semantics are not wrong. You can't say Rath Yatra, you can't say Rath Pravaris. And two, that the center should not be coming out as Bahubali. It's sort of becoming an issue about cooperative federalism or lack of it. You think that that's a reasonable critique of the project or the government plan?
Abhishek ji, thanks for coming to me. Finally, I'll need a minute to make my points here. So first thing I want to say here is, see, we remember Mr. Rajiv Gandhi, who was our prime minister, who mentioned that out of the 100 rupees that we are sending down, only 15 rupees is reaching the last mile, whereas 85 rupees is not reaching the last mile. The government initially, when Modi ji came in, I think he came with the concept of Antodaya, which was propagated by Pandit Deen Dayal Upadhyay ji. And this concept of Antodaya is to reach to the last mile. And see, one thing we have to remember, that bureaucrats or policy makers who sit in their cozy chambers, they make policies
I think, Sumitra, that's the problem, perhaps, according to the opposition.
And
that
when
you are using
it comes
the terminology,
to
semantics, grammar
Abhishek ji,
of
can I
politics,
complete, please?
which really connects the government with the ideology of the BJP, of the RSS, of Deen Dayal Upadhyay.
Nothing wrong with the ideology. What is wrong with this ideology? It is a national interest ideology. What is wrong with such an ideology? Secondly, I think the political parties here which are in the opposition
but the problem
are
is that
objecting to
the problem,
every
according to
other
the
thing
opposition,
which the
is
government of saying.
that you are connecting,
when they say Bharat,
connecting
they
the
have
government,
a problem with that
connecting
concept.
the government
when
with the party ideology. That's the problem, not with the ideology.
With that name. See, when they say Bharat, they have a problem with this. When they say Sanatan, they have a problem with this. When they are saying that this is a rush, they have a problem with this. So what should you call it? You should call it by some English name. What is the harm if you want to go to the grassroots level and understand every problem at the grassroots level, implement these policies, reach out to the last mile? What is the problem here? There should not be any problem here. Rather, state governments should also participate in this policy, and they should also support that, all the people in the state governments also should be benefiting.
Abhishek.
Probably election, you're talking about election. There are state elections also. Why
Okay, Adil
did you
Hasan.
not do this from the opposition? You should have
Adil
done
Hasan.
this in the state level
Yes,
earlier.
yes.
You have lost the plot.
Adil
when
Hasan,
don't
you
reach
should be
out to
actually
these
asking a
policies-
question.
Reach out these policies to the state level.
Okay, Abhishek.
Yeah, Adil Hasan, you mentioned about Simanchal special package. The objection you should be raising is, or if at all, that how is the government going to make sure that this massive communication outreach, extension outreach that the government is making also benefits the people of Simanchal? I think that should be your concern, not whether the officers are coming in a rath, they are coming in a yatra, they are coming in coats, they are coming in dhoti. I mean, how does it matter if the
official is
beneficiaries
going in
really
this
get
rath
what they
now?
deserve from the taxpayers' money?
Abhishek,
Okay.
बैरिस्टर असदुद्दीन ओवैसी साहब ने पार्लियामेंट में सीमांचल स्पेशल स्टेटस की मुद्दा उठाया। अख्तर इमान साहब प्रधानमंत्री से मिले थे, उन्होंने सीमांचल स्पेशल स्टेटस का मुद्दा उठाया। एएमयू किशनगंज के पैसा के लिए उठाया, अभी तक 1 रुपया नहीं मिला। 9.5 साल से विदाई का वक्त आ गया, 9.5 साल हो गया। जो सरकार सुप्रीम कोर्ट और हाई कोर्ट जज
अरे पर अब जब अगर वो कर रहे हैं ऑडिट तो होने दीजिए ना, पता चलेगा कि सीमांचल में हुआ है कि नहीं हुआ है।
डाइवर्ट करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं।
अभिषेक, लेट मी स्पीक।
आप पूरा डाइवर्ट कर रहे हैं इस इशू को। आप टॉपिक पे बात करिए।
नो, प्लीज डोंट डिस्टर्ब। आई नेवर डिस्टर्ब एनीवन, प्लीज। अभिषेक, जो सरकार सीएजी के ऑफिसर को ट्रांसफर कर दे जिसने ऑडिट किया हो, जो सिर्फ इंफॉर्मेशन कमिश्नर को नहीं बहाल करे, जो अफसर विजिलेंस कमिश्नर को नहीं अपॉइंट करे, जो लोकपाल को नहीं बहाल करे, वो ऑफिसर, वो सरकार बोल रही है कि इंसाफ करेंगे, जनता के द्वार जाएंगे। जो मदरसा को मॉडर्नाइजेशन के नाम पर उत्तर प्रदेश को फंड नहीं दी हो, जो
I think that's a different argument altogether. No, that's a different argument altogether.
आप शायद आज का टॉपिक
No, Adil Hasan, the BJP is in power because they have a mandate.
deviating from the topic. You are
Adil Hasan.
deviating from the topic.
Adil
Today we are
Hasan,
not
the
speaking
BJP
about this subject at all.
The BJP is in power.
Whether the implementation of
BJP is in
policies
power.
is reaching there and how you can reach out to the maximum people.
Okay, Adil Hasan, now you don't become Sumant Raman of the debate and don't. Okay, now let me take this forward. Now you see, I think this is something to do with the kind of governance model that Prime Minister Modi perfected as Chief Minister in Gujarat. And by the way, Sumant Raman, you have problem with Rath. It's eminently better than using a warship for personal leisure by a certain Prime Minister way back. Ultimately these officers are going to go down to the
Absolutely.
villages, and
So,
irrespective of the terminology,
basically the best,
they are going to
best
see whether
justification-
what they have done has reached the people or not.
Okay. Now,
But I was talking about
Abhishek,
some other aspect. I was saying,
No,
is the
one
Congress
question,
little
one
flummoxed?
question.
Listen to my question.
One
Is the
question.
Congress little flummoxed? Listen to my question. No, I'm asking a question. Is the Congress little flummoxed at the mission mode governance model that is sought to be projected? In the sense that if the government goes out village to village, door to door, and makes sure that before, for example, what happens is that there was a time when even villages taken together did not have drinking water. Now villages have. The next stage is to get them house to house. Maybe the next stage after that would be get them 24-hour water, tap water. Maybe beginning would be made with Delhi and Mumbai, but ultimately by 2047, 2057, we would want to reach a stage where every citizen of the country has 24/7 tap water. Like today, it was unimaginable.
Excellent.
20 or 30 years ago that there would be 24/7 electricity around the country for everyone. So I think this is part of taking the governance to next level. BJP is doing it now. The Congress, if it comes to power later, could be doing it. If they come to power, they could be doing it. What's wrong with the principle that saturation governance is an idea whose time has come?
So tell me, Abhishek, this is about accountability, right? You use the word Shazia Ilmi used the word, everybody kept talking about accountability. Let us say you do this audit and you find
Saturation governance.
that some of these programs have not reached. What are you going to do? Are you going to punish the bureaucrats? Are you going to sack them? What are you going to do? Where is the accountability? There is zero accountability in any government.
Is that a right
I am not talking about
counter?
BJP
Because
government.
if the schemes are not working, the schemes are not working, you can always go back to the drawing board. Even better. Than going to the electorate and say that I sent 100 paisa, but only 15 paisa reached, unfortunately.
Abhishek, the Indian governance model, irrespective of whether it is Congress or BJP,
I think you have spoken a lot. Please let others speak. This is not your interview, sir.
People are accountable to the government. Government is
Why
not
don't you let
accountable to the
anybody
people.
others speak?
Let us be very clear.
Okay.
In India,
So,
people
I'll come to you, Mr. Meka, first.
People have responsibilities. Government does not have any particular accountability to the people, and I am not being
you made a point.
You
made a point. I think it's not a very intelligent point in the sense that if these officers, when they go down to the villages and the strata, and then they come back with the feedback that maybe some schemes were not properly implemented, that's a good feedback. I think it would help in fine-tuning the policy, fine-tuning the scheme, fine-tuning the project, and maybe we will be wiser. The taxpayer money would be better spent. So what's the problem with that?
Abhishek,
Ayushman Bharat has not been implemented in Delhi. What the
these
opposition wants to say
responses
about
may
this?
come.
Why then officers transferred?
Abhishek, these responses may come. Abhishek, such responses may come. That yes, some government projects, they were not implemented as expected. So what will be the next step? Yes, that will lead in fine-tuning, that will lead in plugging the loopholes by the government, and finally that will contribute in good governance. So what is the problem with that? The government is not claiming anything. The government wants to support
since you mentioned
the public to scrutinize it.
Abhishek,
already Shyam Prasad Meka, since you brought the issue of cooperative federalism.
Proper.
Yes, absolutely. Shyam Prasad Meka, since you brought in the issue of cooperative federalism, you know, there is this incident of January 2022. Prime Minister Modi was holding a review meeting and 22 district magistrates absented themselves from the review meeting, which was of all the DMs of all the states, not just of Bengal, but 22 district magistrates of Bengal absented themselves in the review meeting. So obviously, when you have this kind of atmosphere in the country where you face obstructionism even in governance matters, what's wrong if the government really takes things in its hands? You said Bahubali, but then there is no option perhaps but to take things in their hands.
Okay, Abhishek, first point is I participate in these debates to help you and your viewers, not to end up in echo chambers. I'm actually doing a great service to you. Okay, now the question you were asked,
yes.
look at your own question. That. So what are you trying to say? You're trying to say all the DMs will be managed by the Prime Minister. There is no need for Chief Minister. There is no need for anybody. This is some Bahubali, some Avatar Purush who came to save this country. This is what you are trying to sell. And this is not being taken by the people anymore. This is all rubbish. People of India have understood all these narratives. This is over. The game is over. Modi ji, jhola utao, ghar jao, game over. In the last 6 months, he is very eager
is
to
the problem,
review his schemes.
Meka, that you don't have a Bahubali in your Congress party?
See, there is a
that's
huge,
why that's the problem with being Bahubali, that because you don't have a Bahubali, you say, okay, no,
have not
being Bahubali is not
or
right.
not allowed the benefits to reach the people like Ayushman Bharat in Delhi. That is the concern.
We have the power in the hands of the people.
That is to become a central versus state issue.
We don't believe in Bahubali.
No.
We don't believe in Bahubali who will rescue thousands of people by flying out to Uttarakhand from Gujarat. We don't believe in such Bahubalis, such false narratives.
Mr. Meka, are you worried
Prasad
that
Meka.
the state government
I was
will be
only putting a
influenced here? Are you worried that that Ayushman Bharat schemes which are not implemented in certain states deliberately by the state governments will come to fore? Are you worried?
We have a
Abhishek,
see, some
this is the
states
worry.
have better schemes than Ayushman Bharat.
No.
I'll come to
Why have you not allowed
Don't you know that?
Ayushman Bharat
The
in
state
Delhi?
governments have better schemes
We know the
than
state of
Ayushman
Delhi
Bharat.
hospitals. Not a single new hospital has been opened by Mr. Kejriwal so far in Delhi. If you just take one example of Delhi, where is the single hospital? Show me a single hospital which has been
Go
opened
look
by
at
Mr. Arvind
Telangana,
Kejriwal in
Andhra
9 years,
Pradesh,
and how he
Rajasthan,
is implementing anything
Kerala,
better.
they have
There was
better
a lady who was
schemes than
admitted
Okay.
inside the
Ayushman
hospital in
Bharat.
Delhi. And
Don't you
Ayushman
know
Bharat
that?
is not getting implemented in a
Okay,
state
now,
like
Adil
Delhi,
Hassan.
which is a urban city.
They are selling to people. The states,
Adil
there are
Hassan.
number
You
of
guys
states
seem
which
to
are
be more
let's
which
jittery
are
than
doing
anything
better than
else.
the Ayushman Bharat.
No.
I want to say something.
And you are
So,
telling Mr.
I
Modi
thought
to take a jhola. That means you know that he only has the jhola and he has not earned crores
Sumitra,
like
hold
others.
on.
he has Adani
मैं
also
उसका
in the
फेक
Jhola.
फकीरीगिरी पे हंस रहा है मैं वो फेक फकीरीगिरी के ऊपर मैं सटायर ले रहा हूँ
आपके मुंह
Don't
से
worry.
निकल गया सर की झोला लेके जाएंगे सबको पता
Ram
चल
Prasad
गया
Meka, no
सब
personal
time
comments
में आपने बता
about
दिया
no personal comments on somebody who's not present in the debate. You know, you can't make these kind of personal comments against the Prime Minister. He's Prime
That's not
Minister
a
of the country.
personal
But
comment.
we are
Prime
having a
Minister is
healthy
my
debate.
Prime Minister also, no?
I
He's my
countered.
Prime
I put a
Minister.
counter. See, you brought in the issue of cooperative federalism. See, you brought in the issue of cooperative federalism. I put a counter. Now, taking it forward,
Abhishek,
I'm trying to understand the principle. You see, tell me if you disagree with the principle. I'll come to you, Adil Hassan. I'm just putting across a principle. Now, you tell me whether you disagree with it. I have this Telangana Chief Minister KCR, after launching a scheme saying municipal officials should ensure quality food, collect random samples, get them tested frequently, go down to the field and see that this is being implemented properly. You have Tamil Nadu Chief Minister Stalin of Sumantaraman's state saying that he appealed to the government officials and bureaucrats to go to the ground to ensure their delivery without any hiccups. The principle is that if the officers go down to the field, go down to the ground and have an interface with the beneficiaries, then the governance delivery becomes more effective. You know, I gave you the example of Telangana. I gave you the example of Tamil Nadu. I have an example of Rajasthan, a Congress-ruled state, Mr. Meka. The Gehlot said, this is from September 30th of this year, which is just about a few days back. Gehlot said that in order to establish an accountable, sensitive and people-friendly system to take the welfare schemes to the last person in the row, employees, as in the government employees, have played a significant role, but I urge them to make the state a front runner in almost all the fields of excellence by going down to the villages. Now this is Ashok Gehlot. Every chief minister of opposition ruled states, Pinarayi Vijayan, Ashok Gehlot, Stalin, KCR, because they are in power, they are in a position of authority, they understand the benefits of this kind of outreach, this kind of extension services by the public servants. It's only when it comes to the BJP, because you are opposed to them, you have a problem. That seems to be the case, Mr. Meka.
Yeah, Abhishek, my answer will be shorter than your question. Don't interrupt me. The question is, what we need to understand is the system is already in place. And yeah, I agree with the principle that every scheme needs to be reviewed and it got to be, people need to be held accountable. See, the point is that that's what actually Congress is trying to give to this country, the rights-based governance, rather than as if some sort of a dole out from some sort of a Maharaja to these people. That is not what is required. We are self-respecting citizens of this Republic of India. We need these rights. The rights need to be delivered to the citizens. Please.
Can I be allowed to say
But the rights need to be enforced
what
also,
kind
right?
of logic? What kind of logic?
The rights
sir?
need to be enforced also. You give the right, okay, fine, the UPI era gives the rights, the Modi era is enforcing the rights. What's the problem? And the Modi era towards the last
Only
year of
because
its
you are
governance
Bharat, you
is checking
don't
whether
like
the
it.
rights were
Only because
properly
it is
enforced
said
or not.
Bharat,
You
you
should
don't
be
like
okay
yourself.
with that.
Only because you say it is
You need to
government, you don't
recognize
like
the
it.
self-respect of the citizens of India. Don't make this that some sort of a benevolent megalomaniac ruling this
So
country.
why did Mr.
That
Rajiv
is not
Gandhi
how it
admit
runs. This is
that
a
No, I will not allow
that
that. No,
people have not
no.
benefited? What kind of logic? Mr. Mecca, I think you are not
Okay.
giving proper logics today. You have
Binay
lost the
Singh,
plot.
Binay Singh. Sumitra, please pull back. Binay Singh, before I get in for the final word, Adil, and then give it to Shazia. Binay Singh, it seems, as it comes out over the last 40 minutes, the problem is that the opposition actually does not have an answer to Narendra Modi's style of functioning. It's been about 9 years. It's unfortunate that they have not understood how he works. He works by connecting directly with the
hardly
masses.
works.
He works
Tough for us
connecting
to
directly
understand.
with the beneficiaries. He works by making sure that and double checking, by removing intermediaries and making sure, double checking that whatever was planned, intended by way of governance reaches the people. And
removed all the
it has
cabinet.
happened. And that's why the opposition thinks that
Abhishek.
if this audit happens, it would create problems for
removed
them
all the
getting into
cabinet.
the election. That's the problem, Binay Singh.
He thinks he is
Rajasthan is the
removing
best
intermediaries.
example, Mr. Mecca.
Abhishek, before understanding the government, the opposition must understand opposition. What is opposition? According to me, opposition is not opposed to the government. It is a part of the government. It has a duty to perform. It has a responsibility
What
to deliver.
are we talking?
And I don't think why the opposition today it is opposed to each and everything. If you are attacking Pakistan, you are opposed to Pulwama. If you are against China, you are going pro-China. What is the problem with you, sir? And this yatra is a wonderful idea. So it doesn't mean that you are supposed to oppose everything. You can welcome some good things also. You can appreciate some good things. Then don't undermine your importance. That will add to your credibility. That will make you more credible. You have opposed each and everything. I cannot remember a single thing in the last 4 years that you have stood with the government. No, you can't.
Adil Hasan.
You did.
Yes. Abhishek, my leader, Barrister Asaduddin Owaisi Sahib, was the first person who quit the gas subsidy. The first MP in India. तो मैं पूछना चाहता हूँ ये जो ऑफिसर सब आएंगे क्या सीमांचल की बाढ़ की तबाही रुक जाएगी? क्या पूर्णिया एयरपोर्ट बन जाएगा? भागलपुर एयरपोर्ट बन जाएगा? छत्तीसगढ़ में अंबिकापुर में एयरपोर्ट पेंडिंग है। 9 साल से केंद्र सरकार में क्या ये बन जाएगा? सीमांचल में कुछ रोजगार के कुछ हो जाएंगे, एमयू मिशन में
बिल्कुल
फंड मिल जाएगा।
बिल्कुल
वाजपेयी जी ने एक कोसी डैम
बिल्कुल
नेपाल से डील किया था क्या?
Adil ji, I think completely lost the plot today. They are just not ready to accept the fact.
सीमांचल को स्पेशल
He is your friend.
मिलेगा?
Adil Hasan.
We will get Simachal specialist.
Adil Hasan, you know, Simachal.
आदिल जी क्या
Adil Hasan,
क्या
you know, I
स्कीम्स
have to-
इम्प्लीमेंट हुए
I am
हैं
told
अगर
I have
आपको
run out of
ऑडिट में
time.
पता चल जाएगा ना तो सरकार
Okay,
आपके हाथ
no,
से
no,
निकल
no,
जाएगी
okay.
आप यही डर से
गवर्नमेंट में तो आप भी देर करती है मैडम सरकार देर
That
करता
seems
है,
to be the fear.
CBC
Exactly,
your
Sumitra, you have
friend,
said it
BJP
absolutely
fed up.
right. You see, Adil Hasan, Simachal is an integral part of India, and
Yes, we
the
want
scheme,
special status. We
which
want
is
funds.
more like an audit, it seems.
Yeah, we want funds for
It seems
Simachal.
like an audit of whether
we want Simachal to be in the developed
the
state.
Modi government's schemes, policies, projects over the last 9 years have actually reached the intended beneficiaries or not. I think it would be a great feedback for the government at how
They'll
it has
get the feedback in the
delivered
next
governance
election.
over the last few years. Obviously, with that feedback, the government can go to the people to seek a mandate, and the opposition would have equal right to attack that feedback because that would be an audited result, right? Tuvansi Raman and Shyam Prasad Meka, you would be having numbers to attack instead of just amorphous ideas. So I think it helps the opposition also that this audit is done on that note. Thank you so much.
available
Sumant Raman, Shyam Prasad Meka, Adil Hasan, Binay Singh and Sumitra and Shazia Ilmi, I'm told, has already left. And on that note, thank you so much. We come to an end of this debate. Tomorrow, Monday, Arnav Goswami is back at 9 p.m. with the debate. Thanks for watching.
We have been reporting from the same border of the Gaza Strip, where all the Hamas terrorists which enter the kibbutz Be'eri and they started open firing. Not only this, but the rockets have also been fired from the Gaza Strip by the Hamas terrorists. It was more than 120 people who lost their lives. The visuals on your screen is of the IDF, which have taken all the area it's a remote area of kibbutz Be'eri. You can clearly see the visuals on your screen. The sad story of kibbutz Be'eri, but yes, now it has been completely taken over by the IDF.
हमारा एनकाउंटर भी हो सकता है आप लोग कुछ भी हो सकता है
The prevailing fear in the state of Uttar Pradesh, where the law and order situation is so bad, worse, and it is for the state government to take note of the statement made by Mr. Azam Khan and react and ensure and the life of all prisoners, all citizens will be secured.
देखिए आज़म खान साहब ने जो आज कहा वो उस संदर्भ में कहा है क्योंकि मौजूदा उत्तर प्रदेश सरकार के रिजिम में पूर्व सांसद और पूर्व विधायकों की कस्टडी में हत्याएं होती रही। एक चीज़ और जो सामने आई कि आज़म खान साहब के परिवार को जो जुडिशियल कस्टडी में गए हैं वो रामपुर की जेल से शिफ्ट करके अलग अलग जेलों में भेजा जा रहा है। इतनी भी क्या नफरत।
अब तो परमात्मा का खौफ भी नहीं खाते थे तब तो ये अब ये ऐसी बातें करते हैं मेरा इनकाउंटर हो सकता है। भैया तुम्हारे पापों का हिसाब हो रहा है और तुम्हें कोई